Hey guys, what's going on? AJ here, back with another video. Today we're going to go through a deck discussion of one of my all-time favorite archetypes, Vendread. This deck is getting 3 new support cards in the next set, Power of the Elements, and quite honestly is exactly what the deck was missing. These new cards make the deck easily compete with the metagame in the OCG and the TCG, I think with pretty little effort. The deck can maul everything around it if it goes off, though that may be my biased opinion. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the archetype after you see this video. I'd really like to know your opinions, where you think this deck will be able to stand. I personally think it can compete with everything, but maybe you guys don't, or you guys agree with me. I would like to know what everyone else's opinion is. I'll be real though, I fall in love with pretty much any deck that acts like a toolbox. It's very reminiscent of Shaddoll and their toolbox in a way, and the fact that this deck functions very similarly to a zombie deck playstyle is what fixes the entire ritual problem. The amount of recursion this deck has due to the new support even outdoes things like Eldritch, and that's pretty much famed for its power in recursion nowadays, but now it can pretty much outdo them in grind game. But enough of me hyping up the deck. Before I go any further, if you guys want to see more of the videos in this series, click up here above. That card will bring you to the entire playlist. If you guys don't know already, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more easy access to my future videos. Also, if you guys aren't familiar with the structure of these videos, essentially I go over the very important cards in the archetype, give a brief overview of what they're doing and how they work with the strategy. Then I give you a sample deck list of what I've been working on as an idea of how to get you guys into the deck. Then I usually give you guys a combo video or a replay, but since there's not really any specific combos in toolbox decks, I want to try something new. We're going to try doing a live video this time to just like blindly go into a match, see what we get instead of me handpicking like I usually do. But without further ado, let's get on to the archetype overview. Hehe, that rhymed. Now, we can split the archetype into a few categories. I'll split it up into utility cards, search cards, ritual spells, and boss monsters. For our utility, it's mainly our regular effect monsters. Keep in mind these effects have 2 different things. One, when they're destroyed and sent to the grave, some sort of recursion effect. Actual utility of giving ritual monsters extra bonus effects. This deck really relies on giving their boss monsters that don't really do much on their own. Well, they kind of do, some of them, but they don't do much on their own, and they give them bonuses when being used on the field as an effect. So that's how we're going to do this. So first up, we've got our boy Vendread Revenants. When he's destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon it from the grave but banish it when it leaves the field. His utility effect turns a ritual monster to have a quick effect of banishing a special summon monster. Basically, he's horrible to draw, but it's needed, and he's absolutely amazing for his utility effect. Vendread Houndward are level 3. If it's in the grave, you can pitch a Vendread card anytime to special summon it, but when it leaves the field, it's banished. His utility effect is similar to that of Revenants. It's a quick effect spell and trap banish. As you can see, he's much better to draw. He's a cute little has a cute little puppy in the image, and it's just a bunch of good boys even in the afterlife. Vendread Streaks, if he's sent to the grave, reveal a Vendread to special summon it, but it's banished when it leaves, and this is when it's sent to the grave. His utility effect is basically draw 1 then discard when a ritual monster destroys a monster by battle. That's the effect he gives the ritual monster. Basically, Angry Birds that are level 2 special summon themselves for essentially free, and is just extremely convenient, and more than used more for its actual special summon ability, because Link Climb and Go Burr. Vendread Core, if he's in the graveyard, you can banish another zombie in your grave, special summon him, but again banish him when he leaves the field. A ritual monster using him on the field as material can't be targeted by card effects, which makes everything essentially towers that use the summon. To be fair, he's very similar to Streaks. He's very good for link climbing rather than actually using as a material, but as I said, he can come up very randomly and turn your monster into a towers. That is really, really good when you have a big 3k beat stick that can't be targeted. You know, throwback to Cosmos, right? Vendread Anima. You can banish it from the grave, special summon a banished monster other than it, and then that means Vendread Scavenger, our new ritual monster, can go burr multiple times, but the only caveat is that you're zombie locked. Not that that really matters until you go trying to link climb into Underworld Goddess, and then you realize you just played yourself. The ritual effect that is gained off of this being used as material is that it basically banishes anything it destroys by battle instead of sending it to the grave, which is very reminiscent of Zodiac Whiptail. 100% amazing card. Would play more of it if it weren't such tight space. But this basically wraps up the utility monsters. Other utility is Battle Lord, which is also a boss monster. He's basically a shock master as a ritual card. Vendread Chimera, which we basically use it for being a level 5 mostly, but it's also got great destruction negation from time to time, which is really good in rogue matchups. Now for our searchers, we got a couple of them. So Scar Vendread is our newest searcher. When he's sent to the graveyard by any way, it searches any Vendread spell or trap in the game, which is absolutely broken. It gets you access to any ritual spell, any of your traps that are now searchable. Wow. If any monster is tributed, doesn't matter if it's your opponent's monster, as long as it's tributed, which is very synergistic with your trap, you can banish another zombie from your grave to special summon him from the grave. The only sad part is your Vendread locked while he's on board, but like, really, who cares? Because the token plus him is free access into the Link 2, which requires 2 Vendread monsters. Whoa, this boy is basically carrying half the Dex engine and has crazy recursion and huge beat stick. Sexy as hell, holding a Revenance in his hand. 10 out of 10, love him. Level 6, go burr. Anyways, Vendread Knight is our monster search by discarding a card and searches any Vendread monster from your deck, covering the other half that Scar Vendread didn't. The other effect is basically a utility effect. When a Vendread ritual monster destroys a monster by battle, you can banish a Vendread from your grave, and it can attack another monster in a row. You remember Scavenger, where people were like, oh, this is bad, and it's only a big beat stick? Well, this helps OTK and close out games. Whoa! Basically, really good card. You need it. It searches every turn, just like Scar Vendread. Vendread charges our last search card. So you remember how Tiny Swordsoul has Heavenly Dragon Circle. Well, basically, zombies had this card way before Worms even did. Basically, you summon any Vendread from your deck by sending a zombie from your hand or field as cost. Broken to dodge and perm on your starters. Now for our ritual spells, we've got Vendread Origin. It summons from hand or grave, and is almost like Drytron stole the idea from somewhere. It's searchable off of pre-prep and has a protection effect for anything named Revenged Slayer, which is half your deck. Also, it's not once per turn, so let's go! Ravenous Vendread is our newest ritual spell. It summons a Vendread from your hand, deck, or grave face down, then ritual summons from hand or grave. So if you already properly summoned a ritual monster, you can also set that. Basically, it's the ritual version of every good fusion spell in existence. It's also searchable off of pre-prep because it mentions Scavenger in its name, which is Revendread Evolution. Special summons a Vendread ritual from your hand or grave by foolish burialing from your deck, obviously, a monster, as well as using monsters on your field. The only sad part is it must equal exactly the level, and then it destroys it during the end phase of the next turn, which is sad, but like not really bad theoretically, since you're often summoning Revenged Slayer off this, and he gets an effect when he dies, so ha ha ha, get wrecked. As for our traps, we have a bunch of smaller utility. Daybreak is a board wipe, which is amazing in its own right. Reorigin is basically murder any of your opponent's monsters for your own monster. Revolution is just a bunch of recursion, and Reunion is basically soul charge from the banish pile and then ritual summon, which is pretty good. Now for our boss monsters, we have a few basically they don't do anything crazy on their own. We mentioned the really crazy effect one, but when they die, they usually have amazing recursion effects and things like Executor, prevent targeting, and Mimics being Slayer. Just a lot of generic utility. Read those on your own and you'll see exactly why they're amazing. Not really worth mentioning them because they don't do much on their own, especially Slayer and Scavenger though. Make sure to read those. Anyways, that'll wrap up the card overview. Now, let's finally get to the deck overview. As you can see, we chose Samurai Skull over Unizombie to avoid things like bounce effects, especially respecting the Conquistador, the compulsory evacuation device, Ice Dragon Prison, etc., etc. We don't play any hand traps because this deck plays very similar to the way Despia does, as a deck that just goes full gas. We don't want to brick on hand traps, so we go for things like Talents and more drop power to blow through boards instead. The nice thing about the deck is maybe not its ability to disrupt, but its ability to break boards, because they can play through pretty much multiple disruptions with ease, and also maximize the gas the deck can put on is necessary to its success. The extra deck overall isn't all too important, but note that Underworld Goddess has literally carried so many games. Vendread Slayer, even more recursion, and acts like another Slayer. Almirage is very strong to get a Vendread Engrave and trigger effects like Hound Horde to get a Nightmare or a Dark out. The deck also has access to a bunch of other funny things like rank 8 spam because of Executor and Scavenger, which basically lets you loop Scavenger because it doesn't get banished when it leaves the field when it's detached as a material, and essentially is free resources and gains advantage. I mentioned briefly previously that the deck doesn't have the issue that other ritual decks do. Inherently, you go neg by ritual summoning and activating effects because of the zombie strategy fixing that issue with adding recursion from the grave. This allows us to gain more resources as we use them up, which basically replaces our card economy and just fixes everything with ritual summoning. I know immediately I'm going to get questions on why I don't play Zombie World or Super Poly, and that's because I think committing to a field spell or a quick effect spell that doesn't kill Sword Soul, Despia, Eldritch, Punkthyrion, and only really murders Drytron and Fluanderies just in general, which both aren't really tier 1 decks, I feel it's not worth the commitment in the main deck. You may want to put it in the side deck, but it's the same issue for both of those cards. Anyways, I hope you guys understand what I'm coming from, and if you guys have any questions or suggestions on something I can try, feel free to comment down below. I will answer as soon as I can, and now let's get on to the deck in action. Alright guys, let's get into this. We're just going straight into EU competitive. We're just gonna choose random guy from there. We're going to change right into Vendread, and we're going to go. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're going to just pick scissors. We're going to lose RPS, unfortunate. So we open double prep, Allure, Vendread Charge, and Scar Vendread. Ooh, perfect tier elements. That's great. This is a meta, probably the best deck in the OCG right now. He's going to add Meiru, and normal Meiru. So this indicates to me that he has already a solid hand, and it looks like he didn't whiff. Ooh, wow, he got a really good start. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to outgas this right now, but we're going to hope that with these 4 cards that are live, we can do something. Allure is already a good sign, but he's going to Fusion, and we're not really... Oh, I've been seeing a lot of Millenniumize Restrict lately. We're going to just go... Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of this being used, and it's not a bad card. It's just... I don't know. It's more utility, and that's fine. Oh, he mills a Destrudo. That's interesting. I think that we're in for a funny attempt to get rid of things. I think he's going to go straight into the tier elements level 5 fusion to get another free search. Yeah, right here. And then he's going to search whatever. I think Rhino Heart, though I don't know why he went with Meiru when he could have gone with Rhino Heart instead initially. Oh, he's going straight for Salik, which is just a second negation. I'm not really sure if he has anything really else. I know he has Hoffiness in hand, so maybe he's going to mill and hopefully trigger something so he can... Oh, whoa, that's a lot of... Okay, so he's playing a lot of RNG. So he's going to get 2 free special summons because he has no main monster zones. He's also got 2 Rhino Hearts Engraved, which is another disruption. But since he blew away his use for Hoffiness, we're in an okay position. I think since he's playing Light Sworn, he's kind of adding more bricks into his list, personally, but I guess Kagutsuchi mill 5 more is always pretty crazy. He's going to have the Hoffiness, and he's going to get another fusion out, but I don't really know what he's going to really do overall. Yeah, I don't really have anything to stop any of this, but he hasn't set up really more than 2 disruptions on me. Maybe 3 disruptions. Depends what else is in his hand other than the Salik, but I don't believe it's anything else really crazy, judging that he normal summoned Meru and wasted his Hoffiness. Okay, he summons a Kaleido Heart right away, so that indicates to me that he's going to attempt to get rid of whatever I summon. So I think this is a great indication that I can break through his board pretty easily. So we need to make sure Relink 1000 Ice Millennium Ice Restrict is... Oh, Cross Sheep. Okay. He's going into some crazy combos. I did not expect him to go into some crazy, some crazy combo, but I guess he'll get a Baron out too. This is going to be a much more oh, never mind. I thought he was going to summon a level 4. See, this board I might not be able to break, simply because 5 monster negations is kind of rough. We'll see, but it's kind of a sus board right now. 6 monster negations, actually, because he... Oh, there's the 3rd Rhino Heart. Okay, so we know he has Salik in hand. He's got Hot Red, I guess. This is some crazy board right now. I take that back. This is probably amazing comparatively. Okay, so we're gonna try to get through this board. We only have to get through 4k life points, but this is funny. Okay, we're gonna activate Vendread Knights. We're gonna see if we can bait one of his Hot Red or Fleur effects. It's not looking like it right now. So we're gonna activate Knights, pitching Scar Vendread. This is going to actually disrupt 2 of his negations if he actually uses them. I'll be very disappointed if he does use them because this is... Oh, okay. Thank you. Let's go. Okay, if he doesn't negate this, I'll be surprised, but I don't know if I can actually break through this board because he just has so much gas. Okay. He's going to negate and equip. Well, equip and say haha, I guess. We're going to do this. We're going to use pre-prep to try baiting something. There's the Baron negate. And he negates the activation here, so I can activate the other pre-prep. He should have used the Hot Red to negate because that would have actually been way more impactful. And now I think I'm online. The Baron negate was really important. Okay. That forced 2 negations. That's good. We only have to get through 2 more. So we now have to leave it up to RNG and draw. That's not horrible. That's definitely not horrible at all, because we can do something funny. So Now we can activate Vendread Charge, pitching that. We can summon Anima. Yeah, I think we've got this. Can use this. Take control. We can turn off his Salic right here by using Kaleido Heart as material. And actually, we can use Kaleido Heart to get rid of his Apollousa, which is also very important. So see how we're breaking through the board? We just have to, we're not going to completely break his board this turn, but it's going to be enough to where he's in a tighter spot than before. And that's what's mostly important about this. Especially when we have to continually link climb in order to play. So we're not going to make the mistake of getting blocked right here. We'll take the Kaleido Heart, not that it matters. We just... Oh, actually it does matter because we get to shuffle one card. And that is important because we get rid of that. I forgot. We that did very much matter. Don't be me, essentially. Okay, now we're going to banish to summon the Striegs, just as another body on the field. And then we will go into her, just so we can, because we can. And then we're going to trigger her, take his zombie from his grave, and then we will go into Dampierre. We played this boy, and he's really good because of what he does. I think we should get rid of the Fleur because that is the most important pain. And now we have two options. I'm going to bet on him not drawing into anything, which is really risky here, but I don't want to risk it, especially since I can just break through this next turn even more. It's a big risk, honestly. If he draws into any name, I basically lose here, but can't do much about that. Oh, he's going to just crash. Okay. That's unfortunate. We're going to lose one of our big monsters, and it's going to be the Sheridan, but honestly, it's fine for what it is. Because now if he does anything, we can just Fascinate her and beat over it. Our graveyard is pretty ready, so if we draw into a ritual spell, we'll be in a good position. If we draw into a monster, we will also be in a great position, because we can just link. So in pretty much most our draws, we'll be in a good position to do it. Okay, we're in a good position, because now he has Salic. I know that he has Salic set, so we just don't know what's in his hand right now. And honestly, that's fine, because we're just going to beat over whatever is on his field, get rid of the problem. Also, this is going to trigger since he's being sent to the graveyard, so we're going to get a search and a summon, which was kind of haha. That's nice. And now we have pretty much 2 negates when he special summons things. Well, when he does graveyard effects, but, you know, this is still a really good position now that we've got follow-up. I think at this point in time, I'm going to add Ravenous Vendread, and that's because we want to be able to do things next turn. I don't want to do it now, just because I want to save my resources and I'm in a great position already. I just want to be able to break through this board. I'm only going to do 1 game for this, just because it's already a long video. But if you guys want to see more content like this, just let me know down below. I will 100% show more videos of this deck going off. I'm not going to activate that because we don't want to waste it. He's activating Salic. I don't know why particularly, but I assume he has something in hand if he's going to. We need to be... Oh, he has a Huffiness, so he's going to trigger Salic pitching, bouncing the Huffiness, which is unfortunate. So he's going to start going off. I don't think me doing anything would have made my game state any better. And personally, this is fine if he beats over it. It's just I'm just going to trigger it just because I can. Not that it matters. Yeah, so my Link 4 is dead, and I'm in kind of a worse position than them, but they're also out of extra deck slots. Extra deck, so we're in a good position resource-wise. He's got no Salic, he has one monster negation, and that's it. So if I top deck anything good, we're in a, oh my god, we're in a great position. Okay. So first off, we're going to trigger this, because we can summon from deck a Scar Vendread, and since he's a level 6, he's exactly for Vendread Slayer, which is exactly what we needed. Now we're going to use Scar Vendread, banishing her to summon himself, but we're also going to use Scar Vendread's other effect to search. At this point, we are going to add Revolution, because we can pitch it off of Knights to to search, but this is also recursion, which is what I mentioned earlier in the video. So we're going to pitch that, search another Vendread monster. I think we're going to go for a Scarvenger this time, because Scarvenger is going to close out games, but we're going to also normal summon Samurai Skull. We're going to use Samurai Skull to send a card. I think we're going to end up sending Hound Horde here. I'm not sure. Just off the top of my head, I think I'm going to do that, because we're going to be able to pitch the Scarvenger, summon Hound Horde, and then we're going to Link Climb. But if he doesn't negate with Draco Sibelius, I'm going to go into Underworld Goddess after I link into the Savior. Okay, he's going to negate this. That's fine. Honestly, like, I don't mind that at all, because we still continue playing. Oh, I want to get rid of Scar to go into this. And we want to get rid of Scar because we want to open up our zones, basically. Okay, and now we are going to add Evolution, because we want to be able to summon something, but we also want to send Hound Horde. Then we're going to trigger Hound Horde. We're going to pitch Scarvenger, because Scarvenger is not needed in hand. We're going to use him, because we have no negation around left, so we're just chilling at this point. We're going to add the Ritual Spell just for recursion and follow-up. And finally, we're going to go into Underworld Goddess, get rid of his entire hopes and dreams. Yes, we'll activate her just because we can. Then we're going to activate this. Now we're going to summon Scarvenger by sending Executor, just because. And at this point, we're just going to go to battle phase. We're still not winning the game yet, but it's still a much better position than I think we had. They're going to be at 300 life points. They have to literally top deck to kill me. Like, quite literally. They have to do so much top decking right now that it's actually going to be insane if he does. We don't want to pop his Salic, though, because we don't want to give him a free search. Okay, and right here, he scoops. Hey guys, I just wanted to say one last thing. If you want to check out one of my more popular videos, that would be the video on the left. And if you want to check out one of my more recent videos, that video will be on the right. I will see you guys soon. Peace.